And I wanted, oh, great. Thanks for whomever just did that. um, it came in handy. I think also some of the meditations, particularly this one and compassionate presence to feelings, are, I would consider almost like tools that I turn to in difficult moments in life. And I use them somewhat frequently when when I'm experiencing something really challenging, a difficult emotion, a difficult circumstance, stress, sadness, any of these challenging emotions. And there was a really interesting instance, and I believe I spoke about it at the Madison retreat. So sorry if you didn't enjoy the story, you're going to have to hear probably a little bit of a different version. But again, I feel like it's maybe not my proudest moment, but it turned into something really valuable. And so way back when, during the preparation for the elections, I don't know if the presidential elections, I'm not sure if you had in your neighborhood these booths. There were sort of tables with flags and Trump signs. I had a few of those in my community. And when I would drive by them, and this was happening over, I don't even know, at least a few months, when I would drive by these booths, all of this anger, like not even anger, rage would arise. And it was this like type of rage I was particularly not proud of. It was this rage that one of these days, I'm going to pull over and I'm going to just go over there and convince them that they're wrong. I mean, it was really embarrassing, to be honest. It's not even fun, like sharing that with people. But nonetheless, I had this emotion arise, this sort of holier than thou, rageful sort of thinking I was this just force for good, that I was going to go change people's minds and they were so wrong and they're so ignorant, etc. All these nasty things. And so at some point during that process, I stopped and I realized, like, that's really actually not who I want to be. Like, is that really it? Is that all I can do? Is that the best I can do? And so in a sense, maybe the starting point wasn't as compassionate towards myself as I'd like to be, because I was kind of trying to disown these emotions, right? So maybe that wasn't the best intention, but I was like, let me just see if I can work with them. And so I started doing this meditation. And when I started feeling into my own anger and sort of following it as the same experience of anger, as I recognize other people in the world suffering from this anger, I actually recognized that these people that I was angry at also felt this anger. There was also this sort of rageful, holier than thou, I need to convince other people because I'm right and they're wrong. And actually, as I follow that emotion, that, I don't want to get political, but that these Trump supporters also shared this anger. And as I noticed that, there was this incredible bridge of like, this just happened. I don't know how this happened, but it's something about this meditation is just so powerful. But really, this bridge happened where I felt deep compassion for both of us, right? Because as we're in, the meditation, we visualize the field of care, right, holding us and shining through us, this unconditional love and care. So it really helped me embody that deeper sense of self, or nature of mind, that wide open spaciousness, cognizance, that gentle care. And when I realized that we both felt this anger, all of a sudden what I realized is that underneath the anger was fear. And so I think once I hit that level, it was like this incredible bonding experience. And ever since then, I've felt a shift in how I relate to people across wide political difference. It's really fascinating. And so I just wanted to share that as sort of an example of how I've used this meditation in life, and how it seems to have worked. So just a bit more introduction to this meditation in case there are any people out there that have never done this meditation. I sort of alluded to it a moment ago, but what we'll start in is something we're all very familiar with. Really deeply steeping in the unconditional care, compassion, and acceptance within our field of care, whether that's a loved one that we're imagining, or a specific moment in time, or even a beautiful natural environment. So we'll start there. Obviously, as you've been experiencing the sustainable compassion training meditations, you've noticed that they begin to build. So they layer upon each other. So this meditation, number 7, taking suffering feelings into compassion for others, is deliberately deep into the process. So most of the time we spend a good amount of time in those earlier practices and then build so that that safe container, that field of care, has a level of stability, and so that we begin to relax more and more deeply into it, to be able to receive more and more unconditional care and compassion. When that happens, there's senses of self and more difficult emotions that can arise. So I just wanted to emphasize that if at any point during the meditation you feel like things are really hard and maybe depleting, or maybe just a bit too effortful, just relax back into the field of care and then take your time, receive that unconditional care and compassion to that emotion, that response, that rigidity, or whatever it is you're experiencing. And if you want to return to the rest of the meditation, after that, great. But I just wanted to make sure to emphasize that. So once we're within the meditation, once we're in the field of care, steeping into it, we'll then introduce a difficult emotion that's familiar to us, that we experience. And I'll give you a list just now. It'll be a pretty simple list, and just to give you an idea, but feel free to choose from a list or let it inspire other potential emotions. So you might notice maybe there's a sense of physical pain, or concern about discomfort, or of a body being ill or not at ease. You could have even just a gentle sense of tightness or discomfort, or clenching or resistance in the body or in the mind. You might actually notice an experience of anxiety. It could be a tightness in the belly. It could be an anxiety in the mind, or even a sense of loneliness or disconnection or hopelessness, or even an experience of anger like I did, or even just annoyance, or even just a subtle feeling of not being okay, or maybe of not knowing what you're doing, or like, what is this, maybe skepticism, like, what is this meditation? What am I doing here? Could be even something like that, or something, more powerful, like a strong feeling of abandonment or loss or grief. So that's what we'll be introducing. After we spend some time in the field of care, we'll choose an emotion to work with. But again, if at any point it feels depleting, this meditation, feel free to go back to the field of care and just deep into it. Once we begin to feel into that emotion that we've chosen, that difficult, challenging sense of self or emotion, we'll really understand the world through it, feel how it feels in the body, feel any associated emotions, and then we'll actually begin to notice other people in the world who have the similar emotion. And then the last stage is letting that the unconditional compassion and care of the field of care really shine through us in a healing way towards other people, really communing in that together. Does that sound good? All right. Thanks for the thumbs up. Oh, and thanks for the comments in the chat. I'm not terribly good at multitasking, so I might not see those right away. But let's get started. So find a comfortable seat. Maybe do some stretching. Whether you're sitting or lying down, just make sure there's like a nice straight spine so that the body can actually relax around the spine, letting the spine do the work of stacking and holding the weight of the body. And see if you can stay upright and balanced, but not rigid, still allowing the body to relax, especially the jaw. Just relaxing slowly, letting the body unwind into stillness, letting the mind follow as it will, no need to force it. And we'll start with a 4-part breath. So each part, the inhale, then the hold at the top, and then the exhale, and then the hold at the bottom, each part will be the same count. So maybe you use a 4 count or a 6 count, whatever feels comfortable. Just making sure that they're all equal. And we'll start with an inhale through the nose into the belly, then into the chest, then hold, and then slowly exhale for the same count through the nose, and then hold. So move at your own pace, just not stressing the body too much, just at a comfortable pace, making sure each part is equal. And we'll do just one more round. No, just let the breath return to its natural ebb and flow. No need to control it. Just noticing how it feels in the body, whether it's the movement of the belly or the chest. Just letting our breath draw us into oneness with it. Now bring to mind your field of care, whether it's a caring moment with a loved one or a pet or a peaceful moment in nature. Bring it to mind in great detail as if it's happening right now, not as a memory. See the scene, see the bright eyes of the person you're with. See as much detail as you can and notice how this feels in the body. Notice how it feels to be in this gentle, caring presence. Just allowing the power of this unconditional care and acceptance wash over you like a warm sunlight. Relaxing the body, seeping in through the skin. Just allowing this great care and loving presence letting it in to every part of the body, the mind, the heart. All parts of you loved in their very being. All parts of you seen in their limitless potential. Beyond all limiting concepts or all beliefs. Now, while still steeping in this gentle care and compassion, notice the feeling you've chosen, allowing it in, joining you in this space of gentle care, while continuing to feel the powerful warmth and compassion within the field of care. Notice how this emotion feels in the body. Notice where you feel it in the body. And any qualities you might notice, whether it's tension or heat or coldness. Also notice how the world looks from within this feeling, how others might look. Notice also if other feelings come up around this feeling. And now begin to notice how other people in the world may be experiencing this same difficult emotion in their own way. Notice how many people are experiencing this emotion in the world, like a web spreading out in front of you into the world. Sense through this feeling into how they might be experiencing it. This feeling like a doorway for deep empathy and connection, allowing that natural care and concern for them to build. Each of you together in this challenging moment. Now notice the web expands even further into the world. Many, many more people experiencing this painful, difficult emotion, each in their own way, each struggling and challenging in challenging situations just like you. Letting this difficult emotion pull you into this web of connection, feeling into the deeper humanity of all of these people. Now recall that you're still held in your field of care. Feel the warmth and gentle acceptance in your body, feeling your body and mind and heart, all your emotions and sense of self with a warmth, a compassion, and a care. And like a window, just allowing this powerful care to flow out into this web, connecting you with all of the people in the world feeling this emotion. Allowing this natural power for unconditional care and compassion to radiate naturally as you wish these people well, as you sense tenderly into their suffering, just wishing them free of that suffering, wishing them well, seeing them luminous in their unlimited potential. And just gently communing, continuing to resonate together in this field of natural care and unconditional love. Just like light streaming through a window. Now just let go of all the directions and imagery and effort. Just relaxing into this wide open space of gentle care and compassion. Just merging with this space that is always here with us. And allowing any thoughts or senses of self to arise and just merge with this space as well. May all beings be free of suffering, and may all beings benefit from this practice. Thank you. And just gently, slowly transition, letting the meditation continue to resonate. So I'd love to make our way into a discussion, reflecting on anything new we may have noticed, or something that came up maybe that was challenging, or maybe to